Driveline R&D, podcast episode 82. This is Alex Caravan, director of data science, drinking a dank dust. Unfortunately, 3 minutes after 420. For the kids out there, that's a weed reference.
Kyle Lindley, post product manager, also drinking a dank dust, courtesy of Anthony and Alex. So first time trying it.
He's trying to say we're stoners.
God damn it. All right, and I'm Anthony Brady, director of sports science, Driveline Baseball, primary host of the Driveline R&D Research and Drinks podcast. The primary host thing, it's not like an ego thing, just to be clear. Again, I'm going to try to bump that more and more each episode. Mostly a joke, started from previous episodes, so legacy viewers will get it, but episode 82, Driveline Research and Drinks podcast. We need to start plugging all the platforms that it's live on. So for anyone that's about to listen to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, these podcasts are also up on YouTube, Driveline R&D podcast YouTube page. If you mainly want to see Alex's face and my reactions to a lot of the stuff that he says and do, you can see him on there. But for episode 82, we have a guest today, Alyson Mitchell. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
How I'm Alyson, also sometimes known as InfieldFlyGrl, and I am a business associate here at Driveline. If you call in, I might be one of the people that you talk to. And other than that, I am a rabid baseball fan, and I watch a lot of baseball at weird hours of the night.
Let's go.
I'm sure more than all of us combined.
Yeah.
Also, I intentionally have kept. I don't know. Have you watched any episodes before of this podcast?
No.
Okay, no, that's good. No, because I've been serious. Like, I asked Alyson a couple weeks ago in the kitchen if she wanted to be on a podcast, and then I've given you like absolutely nothing since. I just gave her a fist pound, like when I'm walking by, like no prep. So
No worries.
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah, I think Caravan and I were talking a while ago, but lately now that, because the majority of the podcast episodes were all during COVID and just remote. So we were always like zooming in guests. So originally when we started it out, it was going to be in person, because the first episode we filmed was like 3 weeks before COVID shut everything down. And so it's been kind of nice having the in-person setup now. It's almost been like this rotating, just like getting employees that work in and getting like a better picture, who they are, what they do, which has been kind of nice, I think. But you're also drinking the dank dust.
Dank dust.
From Elysian. I'm not. I've got a Rainier by choice. But what do you think of the dank dust so far? I mean, it's pretty wild, right?
It's very wild.
I bought those on Monday, and I had one either last night or the night before, and I opened it and I was like, "Oh my, what is this, dude?"
Yeah, I heard about it first from Joe because he got it when he was skiing, and I hadn't had it yet. But it's just like, I don't know if it's just the smell, because I can't taste a huge difference, but like every time I go to take a sip, I smell it.
Yeah,
it's super strong.
It's like potent.
but like and I think it was like pouring a glass, it'd be even stronger, because when they sipped it up at Gators, almost knocked me out.
Yeah,
you had it at Gators
yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Allison,
you said dank dust there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You said you watch a lot of baseball in the middle of the night. What do you think is how much baseball from the NPB and KBO do you watch compared to MLB?
I mean, first off, CPBL. Let's drop everything. But yeah.
So I watch every game of the CPBL season. They do a 120 game regular season. There's 5 teams currently, so usually 1 or 2 games a night I got going on, except for Mondays. There's no baseball on Mondays.
Really? Across the whole league? No, there's no games ever on Mondays.
Generally speaking, occasionally they'll have one, or like a makeup game or something
is there
like that.
A reason?
But just as a rule, Monday is a day off, and that's CPBL and NPB both do that.
Oh,
I think KBO does too, but I'm not 100% on that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's fire. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say part of the idea here is we're trying to get educated on Southeast Asian baseball in general. I mean, as you know, we've kind of started working a bit closer with like some teams over there, providing some R&D consulting services, poll stuff, just training athletes, going out there doing assessments. But yeah, how did you get into like each league? Did it all kind of happen at once, or?
Yeah, it's a great question. As far as NPB, I'm mostly a box score watcher for NPB, but like my favorite baseball player is Kosuke Fukudome, has been for a very, very long time. So I sort of chased him back to Japan and followed his career along the way. So he's back with the team that originally drafted him in 1998, the Chinichi Dragons. He just turned 45. He's still playing. He started a game last night.
Oh my
took
gosh.
a walk. It was wonderful. And so, that's pretty much how I got into just watching baseball in Asia in general. But in 2020, when spring training shut down and there were no sports anywhere, Taiwan was the first country to come back. They were able to hold their cases down, and they restarted the season with all the players in a bubble, and they started producing English language broadcasts for the first time in league history and put them up on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter person, so I latched onto that pretty quickly. I was in, I think, 11 days into the season. I had picked out a favorite team and started watching every day, and ended up, hooking up and making friends with some of the broadcasters, and put together this little internet community of people that get up in the middle of the night to watch what we call breakfast baseball.
So those games are on a, when you say middle of the night, you're saying midnight, 2 a.m., 5 a.m.?
So for us here in the Pacific Northwest, on weekdays, CPBL games start at 3:30 in the morning.
Okay, wow.
So over on the East Coast, it's more like 5-ish.
Yeah.
So they sort of get to wake up with it, and I'm just getting up in the middle of the night because I don't sleep.
That's beast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the sleep schedule like?
That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I thought you were about to say, sorry, that's a good question. I want to hear your answer to that. What's your sleep schedule?
I sleep from about 9 until 1.
Yeah.
Most nights.
All you need.
That's about it. Yeah, I'm up
You don't go back to bed before, after the games are over?
No. I usually get up around 2 in the morning to check the NPB lineup, see if anybody is playing that I'm interested in watching, and then sort of wait for CPBL to start from there.
Oh, wow.
The games tend to run a little bit long in Taiwan.
No pace of play over there.
Oh God,
They're moving the mound back.
They've started enforcing the pitch clock this year. There has been an improvement. They had a pitch clock. They just never did anything with it.
What? How old is that league?
This is their 33rd year.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's impressive that you just know that off the top of your head.
Yeah,
too.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
This is so sick.
Yeah.
I don't have many things where I'm like that deep fandom wise.
Probably caught and
yeah.
That's it.
That's actually what I was gonna say was, have you guys ever woken up in the middle of the night for some international sporting event or thing?
Very rarely. The only ones I can think off the top of my head are a couple soccer ones over the years, and like a London UFC card or something.
Yeah.
I've done it in the past for the Olympics, but other than that, not really.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the only time I've done anything like that was for esports tournaments or things that I watch, Call of Duty League stuff. I've woken up in the middle of the night specifically to watch international tournaments and stuff. They go on over there, and I always thought about it from UK fans perspective or people in the EU, just because the regular day to day, they're and you'll see it when you watch the games, because the chat will be talking about UK and EU fans, just it's in the middle of the night over here watching when there's delays. I always felt like that, man, it's got to be so brutal, but you just do that on the regular for day-to-day games.
To be fair, when I first got started doing it, back in 2020, I was working nights. I was working in a group home for kids with developmental disabilities. So I was there at night in case they woke up and needed help. I helped get them off to school in the morning, things like that. But for the entire night, it was mostly just chill out in a quiet house. So there was a lot of time to sit around and watch baseball. So I had time not only to sit there and watch baseball, but also to study the league and find out about it. And it's just fascinating. It's a fun league. It's a really young league. It's got a lot of kinks to work out. The defense is dodgy and the bullpens are not great. But it's fun. They have their own baseball culture. It's a very...
You're talking about CPBL right now?
CPBL specifically. It's a really rich experience. I mean, the entertainment's off the charts. If you want your baseball with EDM and cheerleaders, you're watching CPBL, and it's just a blast.
Is it mostly a culture difference, or are there rule set changes or major ones, or is it mostly the same game that they play?
Yeah, it's mostly the same game. They've got a universal designated hitter. but generally speaking, like all the rules are pretty much the same as we have over here. Yeah, I can't think of anything specifically that that's like noticeably different from the way that the MLB game is played.
Right.
It's just sort of the relative skill level.
Mm.
Do you know who Ben Howell is?
Ben Howell, yes, I know him on Twitter.
Yeah. Like, do you see the stuff he did with the KBO or pitch by pitch stuff in 2020? He had like a big, since obviously same situation, MLB quarantine season. He ended up watching / scraping like a ton of KBO pitch by pitch data and coming up with KBO sabermetrics.
Yeah.
And he actually presented in Saber, I think, in 2021. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong on that, and you're watching this, but no, I mean, I know him off Twitter too. Like, I've DM'd him a couple times, but yeah, I thought it was like A, really cool, and B, like a great way to push something new in a league that has like, you know, way less support or public research around sabermetrics than MLB, obviously. So, yeah, like, is there anything like that going on in the CPBL? Like, do people have like CPBL war figures or trade valuations or
Fan graph of CPBL.
Trade valuations. That's funny that you should mention that because there's almost no trading in
really?
CPBL whatsoever. They trade cheerleaders more often than they trade players.
Wow.
I think there've been there's only been 3 players ever to change teams in free agency.
Holy shit.
Wait, really? So it's not like it's not that just like trades don't happen, but like people's contracts end and then they're just like they don't join other teams normally.
Yeah, usually they just re-sign with the same team.
Wow.
The free agency, like concept of free agency, is only about 11 years old in the league. So when it first came around, I think Lindley changed teams from the Monkeys to the Brothers, and then, but like generally speaking, if a player is changing teams, it's because the team has decided to just release them, and then another team picks them up.
Oh wow!
They have no options.
No, there's no option system. They pretty much use the minor leagues sort of as an injured list almost. Like players can go bounce up and down every 10 days if they're domestic players. The foreign players have a 15-day little window there. But yeah, there's no option system. There's almost no trading. It's very, very stagnant. The teams basically own the players for about 9 years after the time that they are.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, there's a draft system though?
Yeah, it's a draft system, and once the contract is signed, the team owns their rights for 9 years.
Yeah.
Wow. How is that compared to the NPB's or to NPB situation? Because I know that's a thing with the players there, right? They have to, their team has to release them in order to come to America to.
That's right. Yeah. So and so there's never been a player go from Taiwan to the American baseball system. That's never happened before. But they have exported players to Japan, and it's much the same system. They go through a posting period. The team that receives them has to pay a fee to the team that they get them from.
Oh wow!
You know, to I guess make it worth it to the team to let the guy go.
Yeah. Is there a lot of parity in the league because of that? Like if the teams are like just so stable, players, throughout. Like is it fairly competitive across all teams, or is it pretty clear that there's like tiers of like teams in terms of competitiveness, and that's just always been the status quo? Or
it's an interesting question. I'm on my 3rd season watching the league full time, and I've gone back and watched a lot of the archive games as well, because CPBL TV is a really, really awesome streaming service that has absolutely no blackouts, and you can watch 25 years of back content.
Very accessible. Nice.
Very, very accessible for like $9 a month. It's awesome. Take notes, MLB.
Yeah.
I will preach on this forever. It's honestly, it's the easiest league to watch. If all you can do is drop down $10 a month and you can watch as much baseball as you can fit into your eyeballs. Nice. Anyway, so yeah, in like, for example, my team, the Monkeys, the Taiyuan Rakuten monkeys. They used to be owned by a company
Monkeys?
called Lamigo. So the
My new
Lamigo
favorite game,
monkeys were like a huge dynasty. They were just
really?
their bats were better than anybody else's, and like it didn't matter how bad their pitchers were because they were going to win on their bats no matter what. Like a trained monkey could have written their lineups, and they went and they like
monkeys.
they won the Taiwan series 4 out of 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then
And is that like recently or?
yeah, they won.
Wait, so you're a
17
bandwagon fan?
Hop on there. Smart.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they won in 2017, 2018, 2019.
Oh wow.
And then I found them, and then they won, and they like finished 2020 in last place. So yeah.
Oh.
The curse.
Oh no.
I'm a Cubs fan. If I didn't have false hope, I'd have none at all.
Oh yeah.
You started following Cubs in like 1908 or what?
Pretty close. It
Things got
feels
bad.
like I'm a 1998 bandwagoner. Personally, I love a bandwagon.
Who's on a team? Do you remember who? Or sorry, not to distract you too much, but do you remember who's your favorite Cubs player when you first started like following them?
Well, I obviously Sammy Sosa at the time.
Okay.
I also I remember being a 12-year-old girl writing a letter to Kerry Wood asking him to the dance, and like I was too afraid to mail it, and like to this day I'm a little bit like upset with myself that I did not mail Kerry Wood a letter.
I have a really quick, not making it about myself, but I have a really quick tangent on that. The girl I went on a date with last night literally had an Ichiro tattoo.
I love it.
Ichiro tattoo?
yeah,
Like
yeah. And
of his
she was talking
face
about- what's up?
or like the number 51?
No.
Like
No,
like Ichiro's face.
no,
his name.
like a drawing of Ichiro. Like and
Oh,
she
like
was
a
saying
player.
she was saying she had like a huge crush on Ichiro.
Oh, wow.
From the age of 5 on.
Wow, that is
So
That's brilliant.
another testament for Japanese baseball players, or just Asian baseball players. But
Let's
anyway,
be honest, who doesn't have a crush on Ichiro?
yeah. I mean,
I do.
I mean, I went and got a tattoo after she told me.
yeah. Wow, that is crazy. The only like
She also had a Danny DeVito tattoo, though. To be fair,
that
Dating
is
corner.
that is wild. On the Cubs stuff, I've been to a Cubs game. Went to Wrigley actually. I think 2 years ago was the first time. But when I was growing up, probably around a similar time with that team, my dad went to the Steve Bartman game.
Oh wow.
Like he was there.
Yeah.
And he was like really stoked to be at that game because he thought it was going to be like, you know, one of the biggest parties in like, you know, baseball history if they had won that. And like I remember talking to my dad because I had a ton of baseball cards back then, and I had all my Cubs baseball cards, and like as they were coming up to bat, like I had the baseball cards, you know, and I was like looking at it. But that's the only like Cubs fandom story that I ever really had. I remember my dad telling me about it after, just that like the whole entire stadium just like
what year was that
chanting.
again?
2003, I think was.
Yeah,
Dang,
that sounds right. Yeah, I mean he was like, I remember at one point he like called me saying that it was just like nuts, and you could like hear the stadium like collectively chanting like "fuck you," and I was just like, oh my god, dude, that is like so brutal. There's like a bar or restaurant in Ballard that has the owner is a huge Cubs fan. Remember that place? Is that like Peddler or something?
The Noble Fur. Is
Oh,
it
Noble Fur. Yeah.
It's on the owner. Dude.
Yeah.
So, is
I
it the
thought
owner?
it was. I'm pretty sure it's the owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's a crazy Cubs fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So probably worth checking out. Noble Fur in Ballard.
Wow, I'll have to head up there.
Very big Cubs fan for sure.
So,
Okay.
so you're a
Little
Cubs fan
tangent.
because you're family, or how that happened?
No. So my dad was a Mets fan.
Okay.
I'm from New York City originally. We moved down to Florida when I was 9 or so. The Rays were getting started in 1998. And me and all the kids up the street were like, yeah, man, we're going to have a new baseball team. Who cares about the Marlins anyway? You know, we're going to have a new team. And the games were like not on cable unless they were sold out, which only happened when the Yankees were in town. But the Cubs were on TV every day. So when I was looking for baseball, the Cubs were there. And Sammy was hitting dingers out of Wrigley Field. And it was an amazing summer to fall in love with baseball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Somebody go
What
ahead.
summer was that?
1998.
1998. Okay. Because I feel like 99 and 2000 was around the time when I started to really like get into baseball, at least from what I was remember. I mean, I was born in 94, so I was only like 6 or 7, but the first 2 players that I like really resonated with were obviously like Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds specifically.
Absolutely.
And thinking even more, I think that was like related to they were just always the best players in like baseball video games at the time, you know?
Well, not Barry Bonds. What was his fake
Not
name?
Barry Bonds. Yeah, he always had like random ones in there. But yeah, that's how. Oh god, I always remembered it was just like every time you played a game, you wanted to be the Giants to get Barry Bonds.
I had a pretty weird.
It was.
Yeah, I had a pretty weird origin story for my. I don't know if I've actually told you guys this, but I'm a Dodgers fan, primarily because so my family's from Romania, so I didn't have any like American sports background, and we moved around a bunch when I was young, and then my nickname in elementary school was Dodge, like Dodge Caravan. So my best friend in 3rd grade like sat me down one day. He's like, dude, we got to get you a favorite baseball team. I'm like looking up and down the standings. I see the Dodgers, so I'm already like, that kind of catches my eye. And then I remember some random year in like, or random like, month in like 01 or 02. And they were like in 2nd place, not that many games. I was like, I don't want to join, I don't want to like bandwagon a team that's 1st place in their division. But obviously also I don't want to go for last place. 2nd place, I can do that. Dodgers, let's go. So yeah, that's literally how I became a Dodgers fan. So your origin story is a little bit, at least a little bit more involved than mine.
It's a fairly similar-ish to how I picked the Monkeys, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it was more like, well,
they won the last 3 years. They're gonna lose, but now I'm a fan of them.
Yeah, they win a lot. They hit a lot of home runs. Somebody found me a slugging catcher to look after, and if there are monkeys, you root for monkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
true.
enough of an
It's a good
argument.
life mantra.
Oh, speaking of, this is a complete dude. I just remembered.
Yeah, it was a hardcore tangent.
This,
I love
you know
it.
what I'm talking about?
I mean, the only story that you and I share that involves monkeys is I think there's only one of those.
There's only one of them, but I am still so sad we don't have that video. So
Me
Brady and I,
too, dude,
Brady and I went to
actually.
Thailand a couple years ago, 2019, and we were on the Koh Phi Phi Island, I think. Oh no, we were on Koh Lanta, and we were on this like we did this like kind of like, I mean it was a somewhat touristy cruise, but
archipelago
like,
tour.
what's up?
It was like a archipelago tour type
Yeah,
thing. Like,
but like like not anything commercial. We're trying to like really get the feel of the country and the islands. So this guy just drove a bunch of us around on some islands, and he took us really close to a I forgot what island it was, but it's like very heavily monkey populated island, and they gave us like pineapple, melon,
Watermelon.
like feed the monkeys, and we had like basically the monkeys like
they did not prepare us at all.
yeah, we had no idea the monkeys were actually gonna jump on us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm chilling here with like pineapple and watermelon in both hands, and there's like monkeys on my shoulders, monkeys eating out of my hands, and like the way to get them off is the guy just drives the boat further and further away, and they just like dive bomb into the water. It was
And
pretty
swim
crazy.
back, yeah.
I literally didn't know monkeys could swim.
Yeah,
Dude, there was
no.
no preparation leading up to it. When he started to hand us the stuff, I thought it was gonna be like almost like
A
petting
snack.
zoo style, like we'd
Or
go
like
up
throw
close
'em over or
and
something.
maybe they'd like come and get some food or something.
They're just
But it was
all
like
over you.
as soon as we got close enough to the island and we had like the food in our hand,
They're all over us.
it was just swarms of monkeys
love it.
flying onto the boat, dude, jumping in the water, swimming in and trying to get on the boat. I was like, it was pretty nuts.
And there's this Egyptian dude I'd kind of befriended earlier in the trip who like had taken a video, and like Brady's like, make sure you get that video from him. I'm like, yeah, I already got his number. I'll hit him up later. Tour ends. I don't know what happened. I swear to God, I must have gotten his number wrong. He never responded back to like 3 texts. I was like, yo man, let me get the monkey video. Yo dog, it's the right number. Let me get the monkey video. And nothing. But monkeys are cool.
We
It's
actually-
It's like,
We went on that Thailand trip. Actually, we had planned originally, Caravan and I, to go to China. And by planned, I mean we were looking for something to go on like PTO because we hadn't taken any, and we just wanted to do like a quick trip, and we bought tickets to
Shanghai with 2 weeks, like
Oh, yeah.
within 2 weeks they were leaving. There's this service called Scott Cheap Flights that just like emails you deals.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, like this deal lasts 24 hours to this country from this airport by within this range. So we bought tickets to Shanghai, leaving in 2 weeks, and we like told everyone at work, was like, guess we're going to Shanghai. Is that chill?
It was like
And
a
they're
couple $100 round trip. And we were like,
Right.
we're,
It was
we're just going to figure it out.
300 something.
Yeah.
300 something,
Like, we got to take PTO. We got to do something. Now's our shot.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go do something.
And then the next day, Brady's dad is like texting me, he's like, what are you guys going to do for visas? And I was like, what do you mean visas? And then we like looked at it like, okay, we need visas. And then we looked up like how to get a visa like that quickly, and it was going to cost more than a flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was within 24 hours. So we just canceled and then later did Thailand. But it was just like, we were way too cocky about getting into China.
Yeah, no planning at all.
No problem.
That was like my first big international travel of any kind. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll just get the round trip flights. We'll just go. We'll see what happens, and then and then
They're like, actually, no, you need a permission slip.
yeah.
To be fair, I was overly confident because I just done Russia the year before that for the World Cup, but that was because my friend had a ticket to a game, and we used that instead of like they basically let like anyone for the World Cup come versus like the typical visa stuff. So I just forgot visas were a thing. But anyways, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, have you been like on that note? Have you been to any games in the MPB or?
I haven't. No.
Is that something you want to do?
Oh gosh, I would love to. I mean, my goal in life, I want to be the next. Anyway. No, I just keep saying I want to go.
Put me on a bonus
I want to
episode.
go. I want to go all the places and eat all the things. Like that's my goal in life. I am here for an
That's a
adventure.
good goal. That's a good goal.
That's a
Are you a big foodie?
I'm down to get that tattooed actually.
Yeah, I want to go all the places and all the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all the places and eat all the things. I will try anything twice.
Oh, nice.
That's wise.
Twice. You never know. You might be surprised the first time, taken aback. You know,
Caravan
you
might
need to,
start cooking things
process
for
your
you.
feelings
Yeah.
about it. Come back and try again. You never know.
That's very interesting. I've never heard that. Everybody
my
always
dad
says it
used to
once.
tell me all the time, try everything twice.
I like that.
I like that a lot. It's good advice.
Yeah.
That's beast. We I've always wanted to go to an MPB game because the first time Lindley and I went over and we did stuff with Fukuoka, that was like my first exposure. And then I remember, I think afterward, maybe it was before, we were trying to do like some research on the team and players or whatnot, but I started to see the videos and what the games look like. And then I even remember after we did that, I was like periodically checking in and seeing how they did. Cause I think if I remember correctly, like Fukuoka was similar to what you're talking about with the Monkeys, where they were on a tear where it was like, they just won every single year.
Oh yeah, man. SoftBank is just ridiculously good. They just win games constantly. It's annoying almost.
Yeah.
But,
and it seemed like they always just like won the league.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
They had the best
NPB,
pitcher at the time too.
Yeah,
Right?
in NPB it's pretty much like SoftBank and the Giants are the like the Yankees, Dodgers, the guys with money that are willing to spend it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I mean, when we went over there and saw some of it, that was also like months before COVID happened and shut everything down.
Did they have the weird robots yet at that point?
I don't remember any robots.
SoftBank has weird, like freaky robots.
At their stadium.
Yeah.
We were at their spring training type place.
Oh, cool.
What was it? It was like the complex or something.
We're in Miyazaki.
Oh yeah,
right
Miyazaki.
on.
Yeah. So not necessarily near, but even just seeing those facilities was awesome, and like interacting with the teams was so cool. I mean, the athlete meetings were like so much fun. It was weird because the whole trip, you're like talking through a translator, and trying to explain things, and the whole time. I mean, I don't know if you felt the same, but like there were so many moments where I'd like try to explain something on the biomechanics report, and I'd just be waiting, and I couldn't tell if it was like they're just being super respectful of like, in that conversation, or if they actually understood like anything that I was saying about like, yeah, so here's how you move. This is really good. But honestly, I think overall it went really, really great. Like as soon as when you're trying to like talk to the athletes and show them things, it was tough. But as soon as I like got up and started to like move my arm in different ways, you could tell they got it a lot. And by far my favorite story was their big league pitching coach did one of the mocap assessments.
Oh, cool.
We were doing it, and he came up to us while we were doing it, and he was just like, I want to do that too. And I was like,
Didn't warm up throwing 75. It was, which is, I mean, nuts for like a
How old
40.
was he in shape?
I think he's like 40 to 50. I mean, not in great shape, not in the worst shape.
I could have seen him being like 50s ish.
Yeah.
Like he was probably like an older dude, but I was just like, damn, that is so sick,
that's
because
badass.
all the players around were like watching it, and they were super hyped. And of course we were thinking about it juxtaposed to like a lot of the contracts and trips we'd done here with like colleges and stuff, and like especially in the pro ball ones we'd done. I mean, none of the
There ain't no coaches hopping on.
none of
no
the
capping.
none of the orgs would do anything
No,
like
but over
that.
there, over there in NPB and in Taiwan as well, the coaching staff there, they're former players, and because the teams control them for that extended period of time, and there's a smaller talent pool and all of that, like the coaches that you may be running into, even if they are 40 something years old, maybe they just stopped playing a year or two ago.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. It was
Yo, your boy's going second drink. It's gonna be a loose podcast.
oh gosh, all right, we got to wrap this thing quick then. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, aggressively online baseball league. Oh no, what do you got?
I was gonna. We could hit that first.
Well,
Damn, bro, that's two times you've hesitated.
All right,
dog.
fine.
Hit it out.
I'll hit it.
You're gonna ask what MPB teams do you think like both the best?
I should, dude. That would be good. My main question is like, because you're a fan of all these different baseball leagues, how did you find Driveline through any one of those? Was it through a fandom thing, or did you find Driveline because you were like, obviously you might be one of the like top baseball fans I've ever met, honestly.
Oh, goodness.
Based on the like
Number of tweets.
middle of the night like overseas viewing and everything.
yeah, people assume that because we work at Driveline we like baseball, but I actually hate baseball. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, just curious if like you found Driveline through that, or you were just like wanted to work in baseball, so you were looking for baseball jobs, or what?
No,
how that worked.
I followed Driveline before that. I of course I'm aware of players that Driveline has helped over the years, and just being involved with baseball Twitter, I think, was probably my first encounter with Driveline. So
Do you know what your first one was? Was it like a blog or
I couldn't even say.
Bodie just dunking on some Twitter account a couple of years ago?
That's what we're gonna win.
Can I tell? I mean, so when I
You can tell any story here.
So when I first
Caravan
jumped onto, I jumped onto baseball Twitter, honestly to support my fantasy team. I had a Twitter account already, but it was like a politics Twitter account, one of those boring ones where you just get in the same argument over and over again. And I was like, whatever. So I deleted my account. But somebody had asked me to get into fantasy baseball, and I was like, well, I guess I'll get a Twitter so I can follow the up to the minute baseball news.
Right.
So that I'll be better at fantasy baseball. And then I found Cubs Twitter, and that's all she wrote. And so, just through that.
Is that where you started with InfieldFlyGrl?
Yes.
As the account? Okay,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So,
It's a creative name, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. My little pun, the mix between, the infield fly rule and the Fly Girls from In Living Color. I don't know if any of you used to watch that show.
No, but that's pretty
Yeah, I thought you just saw a bunch of annoying infield flies that the uphitters kept hitting.
God, no.
How many infield flies can they possibly hit?
It's almost a cliche that a girl who's into baseball is going to be asked really dumb questions, and the sheer number of times I've been asked to define the infield fly rule to prove that I know anything about baseball.
That's
an
very
infield
random.
fly is a fair fly ball which can be caught with ordinary effort by an infielder when first, second, and third
Now you got it.
bases are
You're just
occupied.
ready.
That might
have it
word for
memorized.
word be the definition.
Yeah, it's like
That's the definition. Ménage à trois. That's the definition.
No,
yeah.
it's not. We're not going there this episode.
So I joined Cubs Twitter, and then the next thing you run into after you run into baseball Twitter is you run into hitting Twitter.
Yeah.
And you know what hitting
Dumpster
Twitter looks
fire,
like.
yeah.
But I'm addicted to arguing with morons on the internet.
Yeah.
And so
Everybody likes to look at the sun.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure that, one way or another, that's how I ran into Driveline first, was through arguing with people about, whether baseball can include both science and religion.
Nice. That's a good way to put it. I like that a lot. You ever, have you ever looked at your Twitter name and wanted to change it or anything?
No, I'm pretty attached to it at this point.
Man, that's pretty good. I won't lie. I've looked at mine and been like, damn it, it should be my name or something. But
What, really? I do. I think it's badass to not like if you have a following and not have your name as a handle.
Yeah.
Baseball, but
I think I'm gonna say because Hockey Freak 9 was kind of coming for you.
I was totally in on it until you made Hockey Freak 9. No.
I made a parody account. You know, Brady's account is BaseballFreak 9. I made a parody account a couple years ago that I may have lost the password to. I've kind of struggled to get back in, but it's Hockey Freak 9.
Yeah.
And because he also plays hockey, and it's like, yeah, it's like cringe pictures of him with like captions just like, you know, like just working on my stick handling. Man, my legs are sore from yesterday's game, and then him just like sweaty in like hockey gear. But yeah, it's a pretty good account.
Yeah.
Non-active since 2019, but still.
Hey, there you go.
That's true. Yeah, no, I like Baseball Freak.
Yeah.
I just think that sometimes I don't know. I mean, it's not my name. And I feel like most people, they just like search for the name, but it's kind of nice.
did your perspective of baseball change at all once you started working inside of it? Because
Oh, great question.
like you're a big fan before, then you started working in it. Did your fandom change at all?
It was a little bit of an adjustment to, and it's going to sound weird to say it, at least it does at this point, but it was a bit of an adjustment to start thinking of baseball players as like human beings that have lives
Yeah.
and feelings. You know, they're not
100%.
just untouchable like
Yeah.
heroes
Never
over
meet your
here
heroes
doing
type thing,
amazing
yeah.
things that I could never do. They're just like 27-year-old dudes.
Yeah. Oh, he just walked through the door and he's going
Yeah.
to go do what everyone else that's doing is doing out there.
Exactly. So yeah, man, it definitely tempered the way that I interact with the sport online and through social media. I'm a lot less mean than I used to be.
Yeah.
Because you know, like guys are gonna name search themselves, and they read that, and they're people, and they have feelings, and you know, so I like to promote a little bit more positivity. I think, you know, praise loudly and criticize quietly, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That makes sense
That's
for
good.
sure.
Yeah. That's a really good question. I feel like I've talked with Lindley about it. I'm pretty sure I've talked with you about it too, but like definitely my perception of the game has changed quite a bit. Working inside it more, seeing like the inner workings, it's lost a lot of like the esoteric is the word I'm thinking of, whereas previously
Really? Esoteric's the word you're thinking of?
yeah, because like previously it's like I didn't know, it was like a lot of it was just like
Okay.
unknown behind it, and now
Yeah.
I know a
Yeah.
lot of the inner workings, so it's lost a lot of that like illusion. And I've had some of the never meet your heroes moments, very
Oh, sure.
rarely, but I've had far more like that was
Always
an awesome
meet your heroes.
yeah, that was an awesome experience, like way better, you know. It's always been like different but for the better.
Yeah.
I guess
Kershaw's a homie.
100%.
Homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's still like even if you meet somebody you've looked up to your whole life and they're like huge homies, they're nice people, you can like talk with them just like you can your buddy. Like it's still super interesting to me how you can see, like we have a lot of people at Driveline who have dedicated their, you know, last 5 years maybe to like just train full time basically, like maybe play indie ball or maybe not, just take gap years and like really doing everything they can to like make it, and seeing, you can look at them, if you were to just look at them, you could see them and somebody who's been in the big leagues for 5 or 6 years or 10 years, whatever, and you wouldn't be able to tell which one was a big leaguer, you know.
Absolutely.
Which is, I never thought would be the case. Like
Yeah.
seeing professional athletes on TV all the time is just like, okay, yeah, it's just, you know, superhero.
Yeah. We were talking about it. I was talking to Lindley about this the other day, but like John Creel just got like his first strikeout in AAA. Like that's like a mind-boggling, or like
I mean, Cole would be the equivalent of that. I think like across the whole company. Right?
oh yeah, Cole for sure across the company. I was talking to Lindley about it earlier too. Like Kyle Bradish made his he was getting a bunch of tweets from like Pitching Ninja, and I think Alex Fast was talking about him too, his start yesterday. But like that's a guy that started against us when he was at New Mexico State and I was at Northern Colorado.
Yeah.
And then like years later now, just seeing him, going out and shoving. And there's like tons of people that had played against in college. I don't know, seeing some of that has just been, it's been very like interesting over the last few years.
Yeah.
Like seeing them get to those levels. It's been really cool.
Do you look at any other performance? Sorry, Kevin, jumped in front of you again. But have you looked at any outcomes or performance things in baseball differently now that you're around people like Caravan and Brady and O'Coin, like kind of breaking it down in a more quantitative level, just like trying to figure out what goes into what you see on the TV? Like, is there any change in I don't know,
perspective?
Yeah. How you think about like dingers or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I definitely know more now about some of the intricacies of, what happens during the course of an at-bat.
Why does a pitch move the way it moves?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I don't know anything about pitching. Like, the more I learn about how pitching operates, the less I feel like I know.
Yeah.
And like I'm just stuck in the absolute highest part of the Dunning-Kruger bell, where I'm just like, I now know enough to know how little I understand any of this.
But in 2 months, or maybe not 2 months, 2 years, it'll be
2 months.
slowly creeping up.
Yeah, maybe. But like instead of just being like, why aren't you getting a hit? It's like, why are you making those swing decisions?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are your favorite like baseball Twitter accounts? Oh, don't have to list all of them, but like a couple of shout outs. I know you and Pitching Ninja.
Oh yeah,
interact quite a bit.
I love Pitching Ninja. He's awesome.
Good guy, Rob.
Good guy, Rob. The guy from Codify is pretty great too, Fisher. But I started this thing recently. It was kind of fun. Again, quarantine was weird, or not quarantine so much. The lockout was going on. Like, we didn't know when MLB was going to come back, and all of like the indie ball and the minor leagues, they were like, no, we're going to start up. Like, you should pay attention to us for once because we're fun and we are also baseball. And it just sort of like took off on its own. I started this thing. I started calling some of these teams aggressively online. And the social media directors for these accounts like sort of took off with it, and a bunch of them added it into their bio. And so now I have the Aggressively Online Baseball League, which is a combination of indie ball, minor leagues, college wood bat league, teams, all this stuff, and it's all just teams that are trying to organically grow interest in the game through social media and doing just a fantastic job of it. They're not like buying promoted posts or doing like share contests. They're just like interacting with each other and having fun and posting memes and like doing Twitter the same way that all of us deeply poisoned baseball social media people do. And they're just having fun with it. And, you got teams like the Savannah Bananas who are just having a blast with everything that they're doing anyway. And now they're sharing that with us through social media. And I don't know anybody who does not want to see a Savannah Bananas game. Portland Pickles the same way. My gosh, that one post. And the way that they handled their mascot costume literally getting stolen.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That was bananas. And
Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, it was. And my gosh, and then there's the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Their account is hysterical.
That was Brady's backup Twitter handle.
No, not quite.
Nice. I love the Cleburne Railroaders too. They're in Texas. They're just such a positive account. They're always commenting on other people and on other teams. Like, hey, we're rooting for you today. The Charleston Dirty Birds are fun. Just there's so many of them. I think I've got 33 teams on my Aggressively Online list right now.
Oh wow!
And it's
where do you keep it? Where do you keep the list?
It's a Twitter list. I share it every so often. I'll probably post it again after I know that this pod is dropped, so that people can see
Monday
it.
6 a.m.
Perfect.
So 5 hours after you've woken up.
I'll probably be in the
No,
the
no
eighth
games on
inning of the
Mondays.
game by then. Oh yeah, Karen Carpenter days. Yep.
Yeah.
What would you say?
No games on Mondays,
games on
dude.
Mondays.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
Yeah. What where is the Dub C fish sticks on that list?
Oh, the Dub C. I love the Dub C fish sticks. I'm so looking forward to going and catching a bunch of Dub C fish sticks games. Bring your own tartar sauce.
You'll have to.
They're right here in West Seattle at a little park.
Yeah.
Right here in King County. It's about 15 minutes away from where I
And
live.
they let tartar
so,
sauce into the stadium.
I'm hoping so.
You'll have to
Smuggle
choose
that
one of
in.
the games where they play the Seattle Studs.
Yes, we should do that. Oh man, Driveline field trip.
You know he's a Seattle Studs longtime closer.
Yeah.
Are you now?
I've the Dub C fish sticks, previously Highline Bears. Correct. I've had my fair share of run-ins with them.
And by run-ins he means they swing, he strikes them out.
They've been pretty one-sided. I'll say that. They're a team in the PIL, which honestly,
Which Brady rules.
I have had my moments. But yeah, I mean, I really like what they are doing with the name change and stuff, just the stuff you're talking about, trying to
Yes.
grow the league. Because, I mean, I've talked about it on here a bunch, but I think the stud specifically in the PIL, it's like the truest form of just like baseball. Of
Absolutely.
people just like wanting to play.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a league where you can have mixed teams of college kids out on like summer ball contracts, and then we also have like people like me who obviously aren't in college or aren't trying to play like professionally play as well.
I mean, I don't know, but
Sure.
obviously, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
Pump 92 with 45 inches of horizontal break.
That's true. But yeah, we'll play them a bunch this year. So
Awesome.
and that's actually probably the best home field in the PIL. Well,
really?
It's
Everett-
really cute. I
yeah, the
mean,
Merchants
It's in West
play.
Seattle?
The Merchants play at Aqua Sox. Yeah, it's Robert Cox.
Park.
Yeah, Robert Cox Memorial. It's in White Center. It's a really cool like dedicated all concrete grandstand field. It is. I will say this: it's all turf, and they don't let you wear cleats on the mound. That's my one thing that I have where I don't like playing there because I can't wear cleats. I have to wear turfs, so I have to like wear a specific type of shoes, which is very annoying. But outside of that, absolutely love what they're doing. A lot of the other, I mean, our home field is UPS's college field, which isn't that special. The Everett Merchants are a very good team in that league. They play at up in Everett where the Aqua Sox play, so that's always fun
cool.
too.
I gotta-
But
I'm actually gonna hit up an Aqua Sox game next week.
oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I told them they have to let Jackson throw when I'm there because that's just the rules.
Oh, nice. Well, keep me in the loop. Which Dub C fish stick games you go to, because
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I play on the
Alleged-
Studs, and then so do a couple other. We'll have a couple other people. Brandon's gonna pitch for us
Oh,
this year.
yes!
So
Monkeys legend Brandon Mann.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
talked about it on his podcast appearance too.
Oh yeah.
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 You get some
Just
good
time
juice.
over there.
He was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you ever watch like the Batter Bastards of Baseball?
No.
You haven't watched that on Netflix? I mean, that's definitely something that you should check out, because that's like pretty organic, like baseball in its rawest form. I think it's a pretty sweet Netflix documentary. I mean, you guys have seen it too, right?
Yeah.
Talks
I haven't
about
seen
it.
it.
Oh, really?
Uh-uh.
Oh, wow. I mean,
I've seen like 4 documentaries.
R&D
in my life.
pod viewing party.
yeah, R&D pod viewing party.
Ooh, let's do it.
Batter Bastards of Baseball, would definitely check that out. It's also like Bodie constantly talks about it, recommends it like top of his list for baseball documentary stuff. So
Heck yeah.
it's pretty fire. But anyways, I mean, Seattle Studs, national powerhouse storied team.
2019 champs.
Don't have the greatest,
Dropped
aggressively online-ness. I will admit that. Like,
Are you looking
That's
for
on you,
are you
though,
looking
dude.
for a social media director?
I mean, we
'Cause-
could probably use one, but
I mean, that's gonna be all on you. There's no way anyone else on the team has more, like a bigger social media account than you, right?
definitely not. But I mean, very, very storied
berries.
program. Tim Lincecum played on that team
Yeah.
originally. There's tons of awesome stories. Also,
I love a
like
story.
reigning PIL champs for the last like 3 decades.
Works with your bandwagon.
So-
That's it.
I understand what you have going with the fish
Wait,
sticks.
what
I'm just
league-
saying we've got some cool stuff going on with the Studs.
What league are the Foresters in? not the PIL.
California something league, California Summer League or something. But we'll play like games in the PIL, and then we'll go around and play a bunch of the other teams. Like I think our first trip this year, we go to Medford, play some team in Oregon. The thing I'm the most
Medford
excited about.
Rogues.
Yeah, I think that's actually it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The thing that I'm most excited about, which honestly you'd probably find pretty interesting, is the Grand Forks International in Grand Forks, Canada. It's like a $50,000 money tournament every year.
Wow.
That's like the big one that we always go to. Bunch of teams from the PIL will go. Bunch of like international, like randomly there'll just be a team from Cuba there.
That's awesome.
Bunch of teams from like Texas, all over America. It's just in this like small town in Canada. It's like a 7-day crazy tournament.
That sounds like a blast.
There's always streakers and stuff mid game, but it's a pretty awesome awesome baseball experience, to say the least. So yeah. So anyways,
It sounds like I'm being promised both baseball and nudity. So
yeah. I mean, I'm really just the main reason I wanted you on the podcast was to try to vouch for the studs, get a little love.
Well, I've said since I started it, the only requirement for being admitted to the Aggressively Online Baseball League is to give me attention personally.
Oh, okay.
So
So
we'll go
we're
ahead
good?
and add you to the list.
Oh, nice, perfect.
Let's go.
Seattle
Let's
Studs
go.
made it
Let's
into the
go.
league. Nice, perfect. We'll grow up.
Who's your favorite Cubs player of all time?
Absolutely, Kosuke Fukudome.
What would you say? Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I heard now. You said it
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fast. It took me like 2 seconds to process it.
Let's get
I was like,
yeah,
okay.
no, it's definitely Kosuke.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The 2008 Cubs team was really, really special to me in a lot of ways. It was the year I was pregnant with my son. I was on bed rest most of the time. I had a whole lot of time to like sit at home and do nothing but watch baseball.
Yeah.
So
Who's
me
the
and
ace?
me and
Zambrano?
Zambrano. He threw that no-hitter in Milwaukee against the Astros just a couple weeks after my son was born. It was a really great
Oh
present.
wow.
Yeah, so that team's really, really special to me. So I'm still chasing around, every player that was on that team. I sort of followed their whole career all the way through. So I'm down to Kosuke and Rich Hill.
Was that Derek Lee's like 50 homer season?
God,
Or was that?
Something like that.
Yeah,
My goodness.
I
He
just
was
remember he had
so
an
good that
insane year. Yeah. Aramis Ramirez was really good too.
I love Ramos.
Yeah, these are
We
throwbacks.
had Alfonso Soriano.
Oh yeah.
Let's see,
Second
Terrio
or third picking up for the
Fontenot.
40 season.
Great year.
Yeah.
Such a good year until it wasn't.
I mean, yeah, even in 2016, like that was the year you guys won. That was insane. With like Indians were up 3-1. What was some funky shit that happened? I kind of forget. It was like
The
game
rain
5 or
delay?
game 6. Yeah, the rain out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a 17
drone.
minute rain delay.
Oh
and
my God.
oh my gosh,
They're in the drone.
Trevor and the drone. Thank you, Trevor.
That was wild. Okay, back to some Driveline stuff, because I do want to hear these. Like one of the things you've dropped in on in internal Slack channels is a Kid of the Day emails.
I
but
love Kid of the Day.
any like top 5 like
Oh,
CR
gosh.
stories of your time here
So- Well, I'm
Besides going off on
I'm
that you can
very-
tell on the pod.
I'm very hesitant to like tell CR stories most of the time. If a customer has a problem with something, it's because there's been a communication issue.
Oh
from
yeah,
the-
not those
You
ones.
know,
Mostly the
but-
cute,
But-
happy ones.
But as far as like cute, happy things, I absolutely love some of the emails that we get from kids who have
Yeah.
been exposed to Driveline in some way or another. They know that, we've helped some of their favorite players get better at baseball. And so like every once in a while I'll get a form sent in where it's like, I'm 11 and I hit bombs and I want to learn how to throw gas so I
Yeah.
can be a two-way player. And it's like, I just love it. I want to
Yeah.
take that seed and plant it. You know what I mean? And just like, I love seeing kids who have that passion for this
Yeah.
sport. Cause this, I mean, it's 2022.
And optimism too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's 2022. Kids have a million things that they could be focusing on. My kid's 13. He could not care less about sitting down for 3 hours watching a baseball game
Yeah.
with me. Like, he's got so many other things he can be doing with his time. And so when I see a kid who's got that deep love for this sport, you know, the kind that gets into your bones and makes you wake up at 3 a.m. to watch your favorite baseball boys play.
Goddamn right.
You know, I just love it so much, and so I love to share in our work Slack every time I get one of those where it's, you know, just some kid who just wants to be really good at the thing that he loves.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we can all relate to in some way. You know, whatever the thing is that we want to be good at.
Like
you know,
that shot,
having that,
reaching out, taking initiative.
Absolutely. You know, it's just like, I don't know how to get better at this, but I'm going to go find somebody who can help me do it.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
Yeah. Those are by far, I think, one of the more refreshing things to even just see, you know, like, it's been pretty awesome to see that. I love hearing that's up there with, probably doesn't beat out, but just like Athlete Results channel in general is by far like just the biggest, like, I don't know.
I have it muted.
Driveline dopamine hit lately.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it, dude. Every time I see just like the trainers and guys getting hyped on, you know, who did what and how.
Yeah. This guy's been here for 4 months and he just PR'd on every ball that he
those are the best stories.
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
the big league results are like
I've never tried doing anything that hard.
Yeah.
And I get to like work in a place where guys give absolutely everything they have to the thing that they love every day, and there's nothing in the world that I respect more than that.
Yeah. I think that's the most like, that's the part of the
fulfilling
company mission statement that I think resonates always like the best with me, is like helping committed baseball players, you know, just like at its core, regardless of what that person's possible ceiling or floor is, right? It's just like, we just want to help, you know, them get to whatever they want to be, whether you're like D3 JUCO guy that got cut and isn't that good and you just want to get playing time somewhere. Like, those are for sure the grinder stories that are definitely more heartwarming than
absolutely
last year's, you know, guy hit his 6th bomb this year. Like, okay, we get it, he's really good.
Great. But, you know, hey, this guy like is an online trainee and he hit 90 miles an hour for the first time in his career at 35 years old and he's still playing professionally because of it. You know, like that sort of thing. That's, man, I just love that so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Brandon Mann throwing 93 in live ABs yesterday at 37 years old.
Oh, we gotta start posting. If we get that softball team going, do you play softball at all?
I'm not much of an athlete myself, so if I'm asked, I'll play. But I am not often asked.
You might make more contact than Caravan.
So we're trying to start me, Brady, Lindley, Max Engelbrecht. We're trying to get the Intramural softball league going. I mean,
if you need like a 4th string backup catcher, I am totally your Huckleberry.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's good because I was gonna be a 3rd string backup catcher. So if I need a backup, but that'd be pretty funny if we just start posting. We just start spamming athlete results with like,
oh yeah,
Caravan on infield single.
That would be lit. Okay, you've got what do you guys have tonight? It's a margarita thing, right?
Yeah. So at CR, we challenged ourselves to sign up 50 athletes to a year-long training plan.
Nice.
And,
Advantage plan?
Yeah. So we've got 50 brand new Advantage plan athletes, and to celebrate and congratulate ourselves on a job well done, all of the client relations team is going out to get sloshed on margaritas.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay, give me the
from my roommate, aka Aaron Rhodes.
Oh yeah. Give me the Advantage plan spiel. What's your go-to?
You get a spot on the aggressively online ranking. That actually be kind of fire. Just keep a list of everyone on Advantage plan who's aggressively online.
Yeah.
Probably be like but I think it'd be like probably a couple people. I'm assuming most people. But then you put that list together, they're gonna be going ham.
I feel like, is Wes Burton on a Advantage plan? Like,
you
that dude is totally aggressively online. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's so fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'd be on the
we've
list.
talked about the Advantage plan a bit on here. I don't know if we've given out all the specific details of like what exactly it is, though.
Yeah, it's really great. What it ultimately is, it's 12 months of access to all of Driveline's training services. That's in-gym training, online training, any pitching or hitting assessments that you're looking for. Every 6 weeks that you're in the gym, you'll get another assessment because we test and train and retest. And that's 365 days of access to Driveline, in gym or online, in any combination that works best for you.
Yeah.
So if you are a gap year guy, you're taking a full year off school to get better at baseball, then you can come here and spend more time in the gym than I do. Or if you've got like 2 weeks to yourself out of the year, you can come out and get assessed a couple times and then keep up all of your work with online training when you're back at home. And with online training, we have the opportunity to provide support in season as well. One of the really big benefits of that, you're as an athlete, you've got a million voices coming at you all the time. You've got your dad coming at you and your uncle who totally played in college once, and you've got all of your
group of people on Twitter.
Yeah, the mysterious group of people on Twitter, and you've got your coach, and you've got your private pitching coach or whatever that you've got, and all this stuff. And you can have your Driveline online trainer who is in your phone, a text message away all the time. He has watched every one of your videos that you've uploaded into Track. He's keeping track of all of your data for you. He knows you inside and out, and it's just like a constant, I call it like an anchoring voice almost, where sure, you're getting all of this information from all these different places, but you can go to this one guy that you trust who knows you and can say, look, maybe this is a good idea to try. Maybe this isn't a good idea to try. I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits of that Advantage plan is just that
having that
absolute
longitudinal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball players are creatures of habit, and having a place to go every day where you're going to get your routines, you're getting your throwing routines, your lifting routines, your hitting routines, all this stuff. It's something that I don't think any other training facility is offering, and certainly not with the data-driven benefits of Driveline. Having our assessment, being able to be motion captured, have all of that information on your body, and having those training plans that are made not for like somebody who's kind of like you, but for you specifically.
Yeah. That was a great pitch.
Yeah, it was amazing.
No, thank you.
Comparable with Sauter's on the spot monologue.
Yeah.
We wrapped up the Sauteropolis episode with him just going like, call in a drive on support, get your, so he just like
better.
went on like
You'll
a 2 minute.
time.
Yeah.
No, that's fire. We talked about, I was just thinking about it. We talked about like the Advantage plan more so at the pro level last week or 2 weeks ago with Bill.
Yeah.
But I think
you got a men's league homie on it too now, right? I heard we have someone.
Yes. We got a guy in the gym now.
Yeah.
He's a little bit on the older side, and he is just here to get better.
Yeah.
At the level that he's playing at.
Yeah.
And, I think that's really all any of us can do.
Yeah, that fires me up.
I absolutely respect and adore it. I wish I had, the confidence to be an athlete. I don't, I'm a
You said you're a
keyboard
fortune
warrior.
catcher for our team.
I am.
Yeah.
I have
Because
played.
that was serious. We're
I
gonna
have
take you up
played-
if we need a fortune catcher.
I have played in 2 of Terry's intramural
really?
softball games. I was
missed
catcher
those
in
games
both of
last
them.
Sunday.
I've never struck out.
Oh.
So
Let's go.
there we go. That's
good.
my baseball career. I played in the backyard all summer when I was 12. We had 22 kids who lived up the street. We between the ages of 5 and 23. And so we played baseball in my grandparents' backyard all summer long. And then I had 2 at-bats in my senior year of high school because they forced me to take phys ed, and I did not make contact. And then I was in 2 games with
But
Terry.
you mean you walked twice, right? You didn't make contact, but you.
Oh,
you
no,
got it.
I absolutely did not achieve a base at any point in high school.
Let's go.
Um,
Fire.
But-
You got any questions or anything for us? We can kind of wrap this up.
Oh, goodness. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Turn the tables.
I'm unprepared to ask questions.
Okay. We can just wrap it there then.
Go Ragtime Monkeys.
Yeah.
Go Monkeys.
Thank you for coming on. It was awesome.
It has been
Yeah.
an absolute blast. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having
So
me.
will this be the first episode you listen to?
It will.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. That's fine. We'll take it.
It hopefully. I don't think it'll be the last.
Okay, good. Episode 82.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be the second time she
promising.
comes on. Will be the second time she listens to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there anything you want me to know? You better just like have me on the pod.
That's true.
No, this is tight. Very educational for us, as evidenced by the first 30 minutes, where it's like, so how many teams are in the league, and how does it work?
Yeah. All right, episode 82. Thank you.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Oh wait, good to learn 25 for $25 off on your
Yeah, use our
Driveline Plus.
code.
But I've been putting in the bios
Okay.
or the descriptions too.
Driveline Plus.
Yeah.
And follow me, InfieldFlyGrl, no I in girl.
Yes.
With the underscores, right? Infield underscore fly underscore girl.
Just
Oh, no
Infield
underscores?
Fly Girl.
Oh shit.
Peace.
Peace.